Sure shot, baby!
Hi everyone, welcome back to the DVD show. So today I am here with my supreme leader. His name is Diego Martin Vergel de Dios, and I am Kaizen de la Serna.
Okay, so good day, everyone. We have Kaizen here on the show, as she already introduced herself, and we're recording on Feb 15. And for you guys that might wonder, she wants to do it now because it's her birthday on Feb 17. So, when I post this, you guys should greet her para, she feels loved naman daw. So thank you for coming. Or did you force invite yourself? No joke lang.
Oh, I actually forced DV to put me in the show, that's why. So he's
Okay.
forced to interview me now.
Okay, whatever you want to say. So first, it's term break now. We just ended like grade consultations today. How's term break so far? Like what have you been doing? Because we've been stressed for like 2 weeks now or 3 weeks, super long.
I'm actually happy that I have the break now because I've been like balancing ACADS and training. So now at least I get to like focus on my training because I have a competition next week. So yeah, that's what I've been doing this break.
So how about the term? What do you think about your first term in DLSU? Like how did you adjust? Because especially like because you were from grade 12 and then now you went to college in the middle of a pandemic. So how was the adjustment like for you in academics first? Like
It's actually like it's hard for me. Like I was so excited because for college I wanted like to be in the campus and all, but then now it's online. So I think it's really harder. It's like harder to learn and like I just want to meet my friends also, not
Wha-
just online.
wow, why do you want to be in tough? Are you gonna party?
Yeah, he's gonna bring me. He's
No,
forcing me.
I didn't
He
say
parties a
anything.
lot. Eh.
Kaizen's a good influence. I'm just joking, guys. Don't believe me. I was just joking. So, what were the major adjustments you did? Like even not only in academics, but then more so like yeah, you said you wanted to meet friends because you're so dal nga and you were like talking to your friends a lot. But then I know you have like friends that are our classmates also. But like how was it for you in meeting new people in TAF, but like through virtually through Messenger?
It's actually I don't know. I don't really like it because I'm not really an online person. But then like I'm adjusting naman to it. I try to make new friends and like meet people with different personalities. Like you're very fun.
Wow, bola, dude. Just because it's my podcast, dami mo nang sinasabi. Okay, since you mentioned B, how was it being my classmate? Am I the best classmate? A.k.a. it's me. I'm the best classmate, diba?
Um he's forcing me to say this, guys. So don't believe what I say now.
I didn't say
He's
anything.
actually a good classmate.
The chat's
He's my
empty.
leader. He's my leader in marketing and he really helped us get a good grade. Like I'm really thankful for him like helping us. Yeah. Thank
Helping.
you so much pala.
Helping. Sige. So you want to present our marketing? How's Mitsubishi status? Joke lang. No, joke lang. Whatever. That's our final defense that we got a good grade in. So wala lang. It's funny. Basta, the presentation was funny. So for in terms of obstacle course racing naman, syempre like it's hard to train. I mean any sport naman, it's hard to train during a pandemic. So how was your adjustment naman for obstacle course racing? Like in the first few months, how was it? And nung lumuwag na yung restrictions for quarantine, like when it wasn't ECQ na, how did you like what was the process in adjusting? Especially nga now, like you have a competition in end of this month and start of March, I guess, when you said kanina.
it was really difficult at the start. Like it started March, the lockdown. So what we had to do is we had to train at home, and I didn't really like that because I like training with my team. Because like my teammates, they're the ones like who actually motivate me, and that's why I strive to do my best during training. But then when we started doing it alone, like at home lang, it was hard for me at first. Sometimes you also had Zoom trainings with the team, but it's still different, like online in real life, of course. So that's one. And then we also lack equipment because our sport we it's obstacles. So we have like monkey bars, rings, which we don't have at home. So we had to like use the stuff we had at home in order to train pa rin.
So what month did you guys go back to training? Like not through virtual workouts now, but like through the venue.
End of last year, so around November. That's when we started going back face to face. But before that, we actually had virtual competitions, and of course, it was still different, like compared to real life like competitions. But now we're starting to train again, especially for a competition. Next week, I have one next week. We have competitions this year for to still be in the national team and to qualify in certain competitions abroad. Yeah.
So you said that you have competitions for next week and March, and you told me also that it's close together. So what are the stuff you're improving on in terms of training? Like what specific obstacle or like what specific strength in the part of your body are you working on for those competitions?
Okay. So actually, I had the competition last December, and I only got third place. That's why now I'm improving and working on my upper body strength and my technique in the obstacles so that I accomplish the obstacles in a faster like way. And then that's what I've been doing now. Puro upper body, so pull-ups, explosiveness, and I'm also training for the obstacles itself. So I want to learn new techniques in order to be as fast as those who beat me the last race. Yes.
Ganda ng IG story puro pull-up. Sino nag-reply? Joke lang. Sino nag-reply? No, joke lang. So, what do you call this? FYI, guys, Kaizen's taller than me for sure. And she's more batak than me also. So, wala lang.
Yeah. I'm way taller than Ruby.
What's your height ba?
I'm 5'6".
Dude, that's not way taller. I'm like 5'6" also.
Okay, I'm 5'8".
Why are you growing by the second?
I'm kidding.
Wait, so you're really 5'6"?
Yeah.
I don't even know if you're telling the truth anymore. Bahala ka dyan. Okay, whatever. So, okay, everyone's curious how you started with obstacle course racing, but people don't know that you also started with gymnastics at such a young age, at like 7, I believe. So, what was your upbringing like? Like, were your parents uh checking you out, like making you test out different sports? That's why you love gymnastics, or were you doing other things like arts or something when you were young, or was gymnastics like your first love talaga?
Actually, my parents they wanted me to try different things, so they made me try piano, but I didn't really like it. They tried making me do they tried making me do art, like the music stuff, but I didn't like it. So I was like, I might not do that anymore. And then my mom brought me to the gym for like, and then when I saw the gymnasts, they were doing like tumblings. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. So I wanted to try it out. So I was like, Mom, let's try it. Let's try it. Yeah.
Basta you
So
were 7, di ba?
yes, I was 7, and then I
So,
did gymnastics for more than 8 years. So it was like a long time. And then during that time, I guess why I quit gymnastics was because I didn't love the sport as much as I loved it before. Like when I was 7, like it became draining also in a way for me. Like it was tiring also.
so yung gymnastics journey, since you said it lasted for 8 years, with all like the opponents you had or the coaches you had or the people you encountered throughout your journey, what were like the major lessons you learned? Like even if you only can apply it like with other things also, it doesn't need to be about for the sport only. Like even like lessons that you could apply in school or like with your friends or something. What were some of the lessons you learned, and what were some of the best memories you had, even if you were like young pa, barely a teenager?
Okay. So I'm actually grateful that I started with gymnastics because I learned so much from it, like so much values. One was like teamwork because I mean, even if gymnastics was an individual sport, there are times you have to work together as a team. So I learned how to like communicate with my teammates, and then we all had to get along because we, of course, we were training together for how many years and for how many hours a day. So we really needed like chemistry also. And then I think one another thing I learned was like, I'm not sure of the term, but it's grit. It's like the being
Yeah.
determined to accomplish the your long term goals. Actually, there were so much times in gymnastics where I wanted to quit. Like like 2 years, like when I was 8, I wanted, like when I was 8. There were
Yeah.
times I was like, Mom, I don't want this. I'm tired. But then my mom was like, Oh, you should just keep going. So of course I did. Um, so yeah, it's really being determined to reach like the goals you had, because actually when I was a gymnast, my goal was to compete in the Southeast Asian Games, but I wasn't able to like
Yeah.
compete that. But yeah.
Yeah. So what do you call this? For you being a gymnast, what was your best memories for the memories part? As even if you were a young child, what were the stuff you really remember that you'll cherish?
I think one like super memorable thing was when I competed Palarong Pambansa. I think that was 2015. I won I was a champion. So I won, I forgot how many gold medals in different
Wow,
events.
yabang
Yeah.
talaga. Dami. Sige. Joke
But
lang, joke
yeah,
lang.
it was just so fulfilling for me, I guess, because I trained a lot for it, and after that I became a member of the Philippine national team also for gymnastics. So that those were two like super memorable things that happened when I was a gymnast.
How about balancing it with ACADS? Like as a college student in our high school, it's hard now, but like you weren't even high school there. Like you were barely high school, and then you were grade school for most of it. So what did your parents like guide you or whatever? Did you have a tutor or something? How was it? Because you were young pa, hindi pa mature.
My parents actually helped me also because they taught me like very young age pa lang how to manage my time. So, example, there were times where I had competitions, and so I would focus on training first, and then there were times I had exams, so I would focus on ACADS next. It's like making sure to prioritize what you want to prioritize first in that like time, yeah.
For what she said a while ago pala about teamwork, for Kaizen's future classmates, I don't know if you should get her as a group mate. Kupal yan. Pag if you don't do
No!
anything. No joke lang. She's the basta don't do anything last minute if you're her group mate. Just do it kagad. Like do the other subjects first and then you're good. Magkasundo na kayo.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah, that's true. I hate you exposing me.
No, it's a good thing. I mean, it makes people work. They don't need to procrastinate. See? Learning lessons from the great. See, it's correct. So if anyone watching this becomes her classmate, just go back to this episode. You'll know what to do. No joke. So after your gymnastics journey, you said you ended when you were 15. What was
Yeah.
why did you quit again? You just didn't really like it, na, right? Like you lost passion in it.
Yes, I didn't love it na as much as before. So there were times also where I was like super tired also, not just like physically, also
Yeah.
emotionally. Yeah, so that's why I
Emotionally.
decided to emotionally. Yeah,
No,
there
okay,
were
okay.
times I cried a lot in gymnastics. If you were my teammate in gymnastics, like they know I cry a lot. So yes.
But nothing changed now.
Stop exposing me.
Joke lang, joke lang. Okay, so for after gymnastics, did you do any other sport first before going to obstacle course racing, or did you do that na right away?
Also, after gymnastics, I tried out cheerleading because it's kind of related to gymnastics in a way where I get to do the tumblings again. So I also enjoyed cheerleading because I like doing the tumblings in that sport. Yeah. And then I tried triathlon because my dad's a triathlete also. So
Wow, okay.
triathlon is swim, bike, run. So that's the order. And I actually enjoyed it naman. And then I also tried climbing. It's
The wall
yeah,
climbing thing.
wall
Oh,
climbing.
wall
It's
climbing.
also fun. Yeah, it's fun. And then trail running. That's when you run like around mountains, and
Oh,
that's like I really enjoyed it because it was the views. It's super nice compared to like running in the road lang.
yeah.
Yeah.
So out of all those sports, why do you think obstacle course racing was the differentiating factor? Like it's the one you pursued, and then the others it's more of like a hobby, quote unquote, or more of like you just do it when you're free or something. But you're still at like a high level at it in terms of skill. But then for the others, I think you didn't really pursue it. Or like cheer dance, I know you kinda did, but like the others you didn't really go to it anymore. So what was the differentiating factor for going to obstacle course?
Um, I'm actually not sure, but because when I tried the sport, I just like loved it because it was like fun but challenging at the same time. Because like if you want, you can try obstacle course
No,
racing.
no,
You're gonna
not
like
me.
it also, hopefully.
No, don't
Yeah,
expose
and
my
it's really fun.
weaknesses. I don't know. I don't. I have
Yeah,
no.
basketball lang,
No.
basketball. But
Why?
yes, it's really fun and challenging. That's why I liked it.
So what were the fun obstacles for you like in the first? Because like syempre pag bago ka pa lang like it's like intimidating for sure na parang you need to do so many things. So what were the ones that really caught your eye, I guess? Because it's a really different sport. Like not a lot of people play it, but for you, parang it was like you really liked it kagad, even if not a lot of people played it. And yeah, it's sort of related to gymnastics, I guess. But what were the adjustments you needed to make, and what were the stuff that you really liked at first glance?
Okay. I'll share first about like my first OCR race. So it was the Spartan race. I actually raced with my dad. So that was the first time I joined OCR without actually practicing for the obstacles. So I just
Wow,
went for it, and then
galing
yeah, I
talaga.
actually went for it. And it was fun because we had to go like under like water and then mud also. We had mud everywhere. So that was one also why I enjoyed it. And then it was outdoor. And then the obstacles I like though were the monkey bars. That's where I enjoyed like trying it out. And then I also did the rope climb. So yes. That's where yeah, that's fun. And then sorry. And then and then one of the advantages of being a gymnast, I guess, and then transitioning to obstacle course racing was upper body strength and grip. So as a gymnast, I had a lot of conditionings and a lot of workouts and exercise I did for my upper body. So when I tried OCR, it was easier for me.
Yeah, guys, she makes mayabang about her upper body strength and her grit. Like I watched her interviews because I want to
Okay.
research and learn more about her, diba? And in her interviews, she's like, "Oh, yeah, I have strong upper body. That's my
I didn't
advantage."
see that.
It's your advantage. That's why, basta, we'll talk about her SEA Games gold medal later. Pero that's her advantage daw. Kasi nag-gymnastic siya. Flexible siya. And upper body, batak. It's
You're
true.
so
Why?
mean to
Dude, you're quiet, so it means it's true.
me.
How about the major adjustments from gymnastics to OCR? Were there any hurdles that you felt were really hard, but you still pushed through and had the fortitude to continue, or was everything like smooth flowing for you?
For me, it was running. Because in gymnastics, I didn't really run that
Yeah.
much. I only did it as a like as for fun lang with my dad. Like I would join him in his runs and all. But then when I got to OCR, I had to practice my running, which I had to like learn. Because I personally until now I don't like running. So yeah.
Okay. So moving into the OCR, how was I mentioned a while ago that you won the SEA Games gold medal in 2019. how you started? How when did you start for OCR? 2018 or 2017?
Yes, I think around 2018
2018. So
or
yeah,
late 20.
how was the whole process like? And like for your training naman until the selection process, like how do you get chosen to be part of the national team? Like for and then you'll also represent the country for SEA Games. How was the process for that, and how did you train for that also?
Oh, okay. So actually, after my first Spartan race, that's when I decided I wanted to pursue OCR. So yun, I kept training and training. And then I also joined the competitions there, even as for fun. And surprisingly, like I won like some of the competitions. And then there was this one competition. It was the I think POSF ninja type competition.
Yeah.
So when I tried that out, I won gold, and I was just happy because I was the fastest among my like among the girls there. And then for the SEA Games naman, there were three. We had to train for three qualifiers, so three qualifiers within that year, and we had to rank in order to like compete in the SEA Games. That's how we were kind of chosen. Yes.
Did it help that you loved the sport right away because you excelled? As you said, there were part times when you did it, but you didn't really train for it yet. Then it was a excellent result. So do you think it was a factor that you considered na parang, uy, magaling pala ako dito, so I should pursue it or something?
Yes, I think that was kind of the factor. Like when I actually won that first Spartan race with my dad, so I was like, oh, I actually want to try it. Maybe I'll actually excel in the sport. So I continued training.
Okay. So for the SEA Games, did you go? You went like abroad pa and stuff to train? Yeah. So
Yeah.
how was the training going abroad? And I don't know. Maybe you had new obstacles there, and or maybe you met people that excel in the sport at a higher level. So maybe you learned from them. So how was the whole training experience and yeah, on and off the course? Like how was the whole experience?
Um, there was actually a time I had like an opportunity to train in the Olympic Training Center, which was in Colorado. So I trained there for I think a month or even more, and it was really exciting because the equipment, aside from the equipment, I met people like elite athletes who were really good at OCR. So they also coached us, and with that, I learned so much from them, and I was able to apply it when I came back to the Philippines after that. Yes.
What were some of the main things that you got from them? Because syempre, like hindi naman you won't remember everything that they did or taught you, but what were the main facets that you really remembered? Because and you really brought it, especially in SEA Games, as you won the gold there.
I think I remember like when I was talking to them, I someone told me they were like be determined like to reach your goal. So again, like every time I would train and I would get tired and I would feel like quitting, I'd be like, oh, why did I do the sport in the first place? And then I remember my goal, which is to compete in the Southeast Asian Games for not just for myself but for my country. Yes.
So you had a competition here before the SEA Games. How was that naman experience? Were you like confident entering it that you'd really qualify for the SEA Games? Were you nervous? I don't know. How was the feeling like mentally and physically?
Oh wait, the competitions here or international?
The one you said kanina where you qualified for SEA Games, where you had
Oh, okay.
yeah, those.
Um, actually, the first we had three qualifiers. The first one, I actually lost that. So at first, obviously, I was sad. I was like, oh, what if I don't make it to the SEA Games? But then I was like, you know what, just keep going. So thankfully, naman the second competition, I was able to win a gold medal naman. So my category pala is 100 meters. So that's ninja. So that's really like more of obstacles, 10 obstacles, and super short run lang. Compared to other OCR races, other OCR races kasi it's usually 5 kilometers, even more than that. So that's
Mhm.
pretty longer. That's more on the run also. So mine is just ninja. And then we also had a competition before SEA Games. It was in Russia. but I wasn't able to compete because they said I was underage. I was still 17 kasi. So I was so sad. I was like, please, there's just one more year. Let me compete. But yeah, they really didn't allow me. They were strict about it. So I was like, fine, I'll go, but I'll try the obstacles. So I was happy when I tried the obstacles because I actually accomplished all of the obstacles, even if they were like really hard.
Yeah. Why, even if there's an age limit, why do you think there's an age limit? Is it because wala lang? I don't know. Why was there an age
I'm
limit for the
actually
swimming?
not sure. Like I was like, can I just say I'm 18 and compete? But then they would actually ask. So I was like, okay, fine, I won't compete. And then, but then they never told me why.
Oh, okay. So
Maybe for
yung
safety also. I don't know.
yeah, maybe. But you still did it.
Yeah.
So yung SEA Games, after you won the gold for that other leg you were talking about, they already told you were in, or was there like another thing that you needed to do?
Um, there was the last qualifier. So that was the last one before SEA Games. I also ranked, but I didn't rank first. I ranked third lang. Um, so I guess ranking that made me in like the team for the Southeast Asian Games. Yes, and my goal actually that time was to compete in the 100 meters ninja
Mhm.
category, but they only needed two girls, and then the two girls who competed were better than me.
Ah,
So
okay.
I moved to 400 meters, and
Yeah.
my category was team assist.
Yeah. And I saw that nga in a lot of articles last night that you were part of the team. So how was the preparation as a team? Like you were four in the team, I believe. And yeah, how was the preparation entering the SEA Games? Like when it was like near na talaga, were you guys confident that you could beat like Malaysia? I don't know who else you guys went against, but I know you beat Malaysia in the SEA Games for the 400 meter one. So how was the whole preparation for the 400 meters, and like your teammates especially? You could also share like how you're the young person and they're like twice your age, I believe, and how that took in how that was a factor, maybe an advantage or disadvantage for you.
Okay. I'll start with the training for SEA Games. So it was hard. Like I'm not gonna say it was like kaya ko, but then there were times where I really died. I would joke my coaches. I'd be like, "You're making bugbog me again," and then yeah, it became a joke because they know like I get so tired, and there are
Yeah.
times after training, I like there will be tears dropping out of my eyes, and they would just laugh at me. But I guess yeah, because we had like training camps every month, so that was a week of training camps, and then what we did there was just eat, sleep, train. It was just like that. Eat, sleep, train for how many days. So obviously it would be tiring, but at least like I was happy because I got closer to my teammates, and that's where like they actually really motivated me, and it like inspired me to like train like really good. Yeah. And then what is your other question? I forgot.
How about your age? Was it like more of a disadvantage for you or an advantage? Because I saw a picture, yeah, like yeah, you looked so young, but then I'm pretty sure you were still an effective asset to the team. So how was it? How was the age gap like?
Oh, so actually, I'm actually the baby in the team. They call me baby, yeah. And it's nice to get to learn from people twice my age and like who have more experience than me in sports in general. Because a lot of my teammates, they've been doing sports since before. They did. Some of them do track and field. Some of them are national athletes also for climbing, and then some of them do trail running. Actually, since we're four in the team and team assist, two of my teammates there, they do trail running. So they run like 100
A lot.
kilometers. That's a
Yeah.
lot. That's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're really strong. And my other teammate, who was a girl also, she was into OCR since before. So I got to learn more techniques also from her.
How's your relationship with them? Like, are you still close with them even now, or are you still developing a good friendship with them even after SEA Games?
Even now, because we're still training together, we're actually super close. So like really close. Like we have good chemistry and we would joke around all the time. So yeah, I really like talking to my teammates. Yeah.
So as everyone knows, wow, you're the gold medalist of the SEA Games. So how was the feeling of getting the gold medal? That I always mess with you around. I always say that I have a gold medalist friend, but how was the feeling like of since it was your dream? I mean, hindi lang natuloy yung dream because you wanted gymnastics nga at first, pero it became OCR, but it's still a gold medal representing your country. So how was the feeling like? And I don't know how long did it take for you to realize that wow, I'm a gold medalist or something?
I of course I was so happy because like standing in the podium,
Yeah,
it's like in top of the podium, and then they're putting the gold medal around your
yeah,
chest. It's like, oh wow, it's finally like it. I was like, oh wow, because I guess it was also like hard, like a lot of training, a lot of things happened to me, even in gymnastics. I cried a lot. I also had injuries, and then there were times I wanted to give up, like I said earlier. But then when I got the gold medal, it's like, oh wow, we finally we did it as a team, and that really made me happy, especially representing the Philippines, and we were competing in the Philippines. So yon,
so
it's a
how
good experience.
yeah, how about the future competitions? Like I don't know, you said nga the SEA Games 2021. I don't think if it's matutuloy siya, there's no obstacle course racing. So what do you think is the future, your future as a OCR athlete, like here in the Philippines, whether local competitions, international competitions, or yeah, I don't know, Olympics as your dream? You want to have you work play in the Olympics?
So for OCR, they might include it. I'm not sure when though, but then they were talking about it. They might put it in the next SEA Games, but then not this year lang. So of course we're gonna try SEA Games and then Asian Games also. So I hope it gets included there because I really want to compete. And we're also going for um Olympics, and by that time I think I'd be how old? I'd be
Wala,
like
bata ka.
26, maybe 26 pa, like
Yeah.
young pa. So I think it's really good that I started young because I still have more time like to compete in the competitions for the future.
Yeah, I mean, like your teammates are older, so grabe you're like 17. I was like, Kaizen's. I
Yeah.
never saw like a picture of them until like a few days back. I was like, wow, they're so old na pala. And like, how did she make the team? I was like, galing talaga. No joke lang. For the future of OCR, was there tournaments that you were supposed to play in that was affected by the pandemic? Because of course no one expected it naman. So there were scheduled tournaments for you, maybe in 2020 and even in 2021. So how did it affect you, and did it get canceled nga ba, and will it get moved? Stuff like that.
We actually had international competitions also last year. So like when we heard it was the pandemic, it we were like sad because okay, it's honestly hard to train without a goal. Like like we did training to like keep ourselves in fit, but then it's also better to train of course with a goal because like at least you know you're training for something talaga. So when we found out about the pandemic and then all that our competitions were canceled, we were kind of like sad about it. But then a good thing na lang, they tried to um we had a competition last December. So that was our first like comeback competition, and then yun nga, it was interesting. We had to do our training with masks. It's different now. Yeah.
How tough is that? Like I just play basketball here in the village, and it's hard to breathe already with masks, and the stuff you do are like 10 times harder. How was it for you? How did you adjust
Um,
also?
like the protocols, kasi like for the mask, that was like pretty hard for me because like it was harder to breathe and all. But then now we're getting used to it, so I always like train with a mask on naman.
Oh, you do even now?
Yeah, yeah,
How? Okay, that's freaking hard. I don't know how I'm gonna do that.
yeah.
Like, imagine if it's basketball and like varsity training then mask. I can't even breathe. Like my stamina's not even good without a mask. What more if there's a mask? Diba? So I don't know.
It's hard, yeah.
Yeah. So in your opinion, since you mentioned it, that you wanted to be part of the Olympics and Asian Games and consistently also in SEA Games since it's not part, or maybe even here locally in UAAP and more like local competitions so that you could participate in it also, especially because of course competition, it increases your exposure and makes you get better. So how confident are you personally, like without reporting or anything or inside info, how confident are you that it could actually happen? And what points would you tell them on why they should make it a normal sport na in all these tournaments?
Oh wait, are you asking like if it's gonna be part of like this year's competition? Sorry, I didn't get
No,
that.
like what points would you tell them? Like what, like if they ask you why do you think I should put this obstacle course racing in these competitions, what would you tell them and how would you defend it? Like, yeah, parang defense lang. Parang marketing defense lang.
Like marketing lang. I'll be like, wait, but OCR is like fun and at the same time challenging. So you should try it also and put it in the competition.
Wow, they'll be like, wow, you talk for 20 seconds. So how will we put it in the sport? Sige na. My
But
practice
yeah,
din.
I think no, because like OCR is like it's not just upper body; it's for like your whole body talaga. So
Yeah.
aside from like grip and all, we also have to practice a run. So that's lower body also, and then we have to have good coordination. So OCR is just like combination also of a lot of things. So
Are you
yes.
confident naman based on everything you've been hearing? Are you confident that it'd be more known since it's not that known yet? What do you think? Like personal opinion?
I personally think na it's gonna be known in the future because actually our federation, our president, Attorney Al-Agra, he's been contacting even now during this pandemic. I'm really grateful that he's our president because he's been contacting different groups, different places around the Philippines where he um brought this obstacle box and he placed it in different places so that new people can try out the sport also. So this obstacle box, it's just one whole box, but then there are a lot of obstacles in it.
Yeah.
So he placed that in like Baguio, in Subic, all around. So a lot of people now are trying the sport, and the competition next week that I was talking about,
Yeah.
that's like a competition around the Philippines because it's placed in different areas. So yes, yeah.
How confident are you with your shape now? Like you always tell me that you train almost every day. So how confident are you entering those competitions? I mean, I don't know if you know your opponents, but like, how confident are you with the upcoming two competition?
Actually, I know my opponents because they're my teammates also because we're all in the national team, and of course we're gonna compete against each other again.
Yeah,
I'm training for it, so hopefully when I compete, like, the results will show.
yeah,
Yeah,
kaya yan. Parang
yeah,
you train nga every day. Do you train every day? Like
yeah.
even Sunday?
I train every day except I have one rest day a week. So I get to choose when because sometimes I get tired pa lang at the start of the week and so I
Wow,
just choose when, yeah.
wow, tired, tired. Really?
But yeah, yeah.
Okay, whatever. Let's just see if the viewers are gonna believe you. No joke. For the next part, I'm gonna segue to like this part that you really like doing. I think you always tell me that you want to inspire like younger athletes. You even ask me like, should you do this thing for free? Because people are gonna, I don't know, you don't know if they're gonna enjoy it. But then it's a way for you to share your skills and talent to other individuals. So where did your mindset come from? Because not everyone's like that. Like others are just locked in with their goal. They just want to do like their sport. But for you, you always want to involve other people and become selfless and also teach whatever you're
Selfless.
learning. Syempre. Sige, so where did that come from?
Um actually kasi parang when I won the gold medal, I was just happy because so much people like talked to me after that and so much
Who?
kids,
Who?
so
Okay,
much
okay,
kids were
continue.
so much kids were like, oh, Ate Kaizen, Ate,
Ate, wow.
Ate, like you inspire me, ganon, ganon. And I was like, I didn't realize that I actually inspired so much people because when I get so kilig when they say, oh, you inspire me. I'm like, oh.
Oh, I know na. I'll message ano na so that he can tell you that. Yung BFF mo.
Yeah, my best friend.
Okay, go. Continue.
But
Joke lang.
yeah,
So
but
what?
yeah, I just want like in the future. Actually, now what I'm doing during this quarantine is I'm coaching our special group. We partnered with special groups kasi so that's street children, children with HIV, and um people who are visually like yeah. So I'm currently coaching those children with HIV, and it's really fun because I get to do what I love and I get to share that love with other people.
How about you personally? Do you get to learn from them also? Because maybe they tell you stuff, they tell you their stories, or they, I don't know, the stuff how they do their work ethic with what you're making them do. Do you learn also from these people, even if you don't really have a deep relationship with them yet?
Oh yes, I actually learn a lot, especially from the kids, because like there when I hear, oh, I wanna be like I wanna be this girl, I wanna be this girl. I was like, oh wow, they're so inspired and they're so determined talaga to reach their goals, and like I should continue to be like that. So yeah.
So it's the perfect next question because you said you want to reach your next goal. So at such a young age, you already have a gold medal and you're being successful in this sport of obstacle course. What are your future goals in, yeah, maybe obstacle course, but also in like your other avenues where you want to share your talent with people? Because maybe you, I don't know what you want to do because you're still young, so you still have a lot of time for you to reach your dreams. So what are your future goals in life? Whether you wanna, yeah, teach more people or you wanna reach the Olympics, I don't know. Yeah, you might want to share some of them lang.
I like one is Olympics. I think that's my goal. And then after Olympics, I want to like, in a way pay forward or give back. So that would be like coaching children nga. And then I would okay, this is like I'm not like I'm shy, but then I want to like have
Shy,
a like
shy.
I'm shy. I want like this foundation where people who are like they don't really have the capability to try out sports. Just want to bring them in and then let's see if they excel, something like that. It's like street children, maybe street children who want to try out sports. So I should like make this place and then coach them. Ganon. That's what I want after.
Where did the inspiration come from? Is it like from social media or like from your parents or from your friends? Like where do you get all these where do you get the mindset of where you want to share your talent also? Because yeah, like the foundation you mentioned now, not everyone has a mindset or a goal or an objective to do that. But yeah, did your parents help you or did your coaches? I don't know.
Um, my parents actually, like they shaped me talaga to be like this, especially my dad, cause my dad, he really brings me to places like outreach programs, and then I get to be in their shoes, like. I get to learn more on what's happening, the situation around, and so I guess that's why, like now, I want to be like him also.
How about more of like your legacy in the Philippine sports? Like you told me that when you search Philippines athletes in the internet, you want your name to be there. So syempre if it's there, you're one of the best ever. So besides that, what's your legacy? What legacy do you want to leave as like an athlete? Like if you retire now or something, what do you want people to remember you as? Sige, magyabang ka na. No, joke lang.
No. Oh, because my goal, I don't know if I'll reach a goal. Hopefully I do.
Yeah.
But like I want to be in the Olympics. So I guess that's one. And I want to be known as someone who inspires like especially little kids to like pursue their dreams and keep training to achieve their goals.
So one,
Wow.
yeah, bang, learning from me kasi.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm the one teaching her all these lessons. Yun lang yung, I'm just asking her. May joke lang. Okay, so for since you always talk about inspiring people and helping people, it's the perfect segue to your business that you start. Did you start it during quarantine lang, like your family
Yeah, we
business?
started.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
started it with my dad this
so
quarantine.
before we talk about that pala, I also want to ask first where your love for business came from. So it's not sports related na. Since
Yeah,
I know you're taking entrep and Taft, and yeah, you always
yeah.
tell me that all these stuff that you're interested in business related. So where did that come from naman? Not yeah, something different na hindi sports oh.
It's also my dad because my dad's into business. So when I was super young, he would also teach me like little business things, and that's why I super love business right now. And like you said earlier, we started a business during this pandemic. It's Move On PH. So
Shameless
yes,
plug daw.
plug
Like them on Facebook.
like, but yeah.
So since you said that you really love it and you're really like interested in reading a lot and learning about it, so can you talk more about the story and how it started? Like move on. How did it start and how's the progress so far during this pandemic?
Okay. So during this pandemic, we realized that a lot of people lost their job, like their work and their jobs. So we started Move On PH because we wanted, like, especially the riders, we wanted to like give them more income, like opportunities. So yon, it's going like at the start, of course, we encountered difficulties, but now it's going well, naman.
How about the vision that you have? Not really you, you lang. I mean like your family for the future because I don't know, like you could have like a different vision compared to others like Lala Move or something, but then it's like the similar service that you provide. So what's your vision and what are the future plans on how you intend to stay on business and continue serving the people and earning a profit as well in this business?
I want to be um like at the same time like doing business, but at the same time I want to help other people while like business. So that's the start. Move On was the start, and hopefully my next businesses like I get to help more people and inspire more people to do the same.
How about your job? Diba, it says there in ABS-CBN, you're the marketing manager. Wow. And then nagtatagalog. Yeah, wait, let's ask that.
Guys, magaling ako mag-Tagalog.
Yeah. Are you good in Tagalog?
Yeah, I'm better than DV when I speak
You put
Tagalog.
it in the outline eh. Ask you, why am I good in Tagalog? O sige nga, why are you good in Tagalog? You put it in the
Magaling
outline.
ako mag-Tagalog. Kasi DV thinks that I'm not good at Tagalog, pero marunong naman ako magsalita.
I didn't say anything. Why are you
Mas
putting
magaling
me in
ako magsalita kay DV.
Okay, so what? Are we gonna speak Filipino now? No joke. So wait,
She
okay.
doesn't know how eh.
Back to the original question. But how's the job of being a marketing manager of Move On, as you said, and how's it helping you now, especially now you're only on your first year in college, but then you already like have a job in a business. What's the advantages it brings, and what's your like job, like what you do? Give an overview lang or something.
Since this was like my first business where I actually had to super work, I learned a lot of things like which I applied also in like academics now because I'm actually entrepreneurship. So yon, the advantage was like I already know a lot, like more than like others. Um so yeah, it was easier also for entrep, except accounting
How's
because
accounting?
I
Bakit?
because
Why? How's
because
accounting?
accounting's hard. No,
Hi, DV.
ask DV na lang. Ask
How
DV.
do you solve number 1 to 10? Lahat na. It's okay. Basta guys, she's smart. Just don't ask her accounting. You're safe. And she tried to ask the teacher for a higher grade. And I don't know how she was gonna ask for a higher grade. Ask her
I
na
was
lang. Sige
nervous.
nga, how are you gonna, if I'm not gonna say her name, basta like our prof, how are you gonna tell me that you deserve a higher grade?
I'd be like, I actually really tried in this subject. Wow.
Tried.
I will I'm really, really, really willing to do extra work for you to pull up my grade, miss. I'd be like that.
How about ako
See,
buwan
so
ka?
she knows that I'm determined.
Determined. She knows you're determined in obstacle course racing and move on PH, but not accounting. We have like 9 units of accounting pa. So ano na?
DV will help me. Magaling siya sa accounting.
Dude,
Grabe.
don't trust me. I don't know anything also. That's why I need to study Banat. Kaizen used YouTube to study, guys, and she didn't know if it was part of the coverage. Tip lang, you need to know the coverage when you study for an exam. Kasi you don't just watch YouTube and say, uy, ang galing naman mag-solve nito.
I studied like some of the YouTube videos and then it didn't appear in the test. So I was like, this is so sad. I enjoyed watching the videos tapos wala din. Wala.
So how many percent of the test did you know?
What?
How many percent of the test did you know?
I'm not gonna answer that. That's a secret.
99. Dami niyang alam.
Yeah. Only DB knows because I helped him in the
Help me
test.
what? Positively or negatively? Okay, so we're here to the final few questions for the interview, and I hope you guys enjoyed because wala lang, this is my best interviewee, Nax. And like we laughed the most, and yeah, she told me to say that, FYI. So
No, I didn't. You said that willingly.
the last question, one of the last questions I want to ask. I don't know what inputs you can give, but I don't know if you know in the NBA that athletes were being socially active, like during the Black Lives Matter with George Floyd and Jacob Blake. They were very vocal with their stance and their opinions on the social issues. But here in the Philippines, baka some of the athletes, they're kind of like not confident yet with the way of them being expressive. So what are your thoughts on mixing politics and being an athlete? Because as an athlete, as I always mess with you, you're like my most famous friend. Like there's a platform that you have the following, then people will listen to what you guys say to a certain extent. So especially for the upcoming elections next year, 2022, it's an integral aspect for the youth to also know and like educate themselves on the people they could vote and also the social issues. Even now in the pandemic and daming social issues, of course, even if we don't know like deeply about it. I'm pretty sure we both don't know deep stuff about it. But like we know like the basic stuff. So in your opinion, what's your stance on athlete and politics mixing and how important is it for athletes to be expressive and also amplify their voice since they have a platform?
I'm personally okay with athletes. Like, I think it's really important for them to know what's happening, especially in their country. And actually, I'm actually trying to be more like vocal about it because I'm not as vocal now. Like I know I'm aware of the issues and I share them on Facebook and I read about them. So I'm actually like I'm educated about the issues naman. But then um like I'm working on like being more vocal and using my platform also to share more about like politics and what's happening in the country. So I think it's actually okay, yes.
So do you feel that athletes really, the one I said kanina, that I feel athletes have a huge influence on the educating people? Do you think that's true? And do you think that di naman like kunwari vote for this person, pero more of like telling the public, the general public, like the reason on why you'd vote for him or her, parang ganun. So do you think that athletes really do have that platform?
For me, I think yes. So because we all have our own opinions and I think like people should use their platform wisely, especially athletes. I'm not sure if people now kasi they say that like athletes aren't they think that athletes aren't as aware or they don't really like share stuff about politics, but I think for me and as an athlete I want to be aware and I want to like yun nga, as I said earlier, use my platform to like share about what's happening in the country.
So we move on to the second to the last question. It's the question you prepared for like 500 hours. I don't know why we took so long
Guys, I
before we
really thought
started.
of this super because
Yeah,
he was so
he was
annoying about
annoying. I said you just have an iOS answer for it because it's a nice question that's not related to anything we talked about. So
yeah.
I ask all my guests these also. if you would have a formal dinner like with wine and steak and fine dining and all these things, and you would have five dinner guests, dead or alive, who would you choose? And you could explain also if you want on why you chose them.
Okay, I prepared for this so I know my answers. First, I would bring Warren Buffett. So, did I pronounce it right? I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
We
This,
practiced,
yeah,
FYI. She's just making
yeah,
party.
I practiced the pronunciation. I searched pa. Yeah. And then I would bring Jose Rizal. And then Simone Biles. Simone Biles kasi she's a gymnast. She's my idol gymnast. So she's amazing. Search her up. And then I would bring John Lennon and Freddie Mercury. John Lennon from the Beatles and Freddie Mercury from Queen.
How about your BFF?
Also my BFF. DB.
Secret, not me. It's someone else. Mysterious person number one. How about me? Kasi sabi mo you wanted me, but like I just told you, Dane.
Um, you're okay. Maybe I'll think about it.
I'll think about it. Waiter na lang ako.
Yeah, yeah. Pwede,
Kasama,
pwede. At
kasama
least
na
we're
lang.
there, di ba?
At least I'm there. What am I gonna do? Serve you food and not even talk to any of them? So it's okay, whatever. I know you still appreciate me, of course.
Who said?
Who said?
Yeah.
You.
No, I never said anything.
Off record. Last
Yes.
question. I asked you this 1 million times in Messenger, but like first time here, who do you think I should guest on the show? Because as you know, I just started. It's like the eighth episode only, and I don't have connections. That's why you force yourself to get into the show. Who do you think I should guest
Guys,
and why? And
I
reaction.
think, you should guess me again for part two, for like the future, diba? Because I am very interesting and fun.
Yeah, interesting eh. Parang I know people that find you interesting talaga eh.
But
Talagang
yeah,
part 2, sige nga, if there's a part
part
2,
two,
what
part
will you
two.
talk about?
Well, no, for part two, it's gonna be opposite. I will be the host and I'll interview you.
How about,
Ganon.
no, how about you na lang since it's Valentine's pa. Baka you have stories kasi, you know, you're gonna share sa part
Oh,
2.
who was your Valentine's pala?
L. Wala, no one. It's just all L's.
Okay.
Kasi guys, she's kilig because it's Valentine's. Like we were talking about something and then she just bigla didn't reply, scene zone. Tapos sabi niya, wait, I'm so kilig. I got flowers. Like, okay, sorry na. Pinamukha pa na I
I
don't
was
have
kidding kasi I got flowers from my boyfriend.
Yeah, so guys, she's kind of kupal sometimes. Like, pinamumukha niya pa that I'm single. So, yeah, you just
No,
gotta be
he's
aware.
soon to be not soon. He will not be single soon. Is that correct?
Who said? Yeah, but like, who said? I don't have anyone.
Okay, that's what he says.
So, part 2, guys, love Dr. Kaizen. It's gonna help. So, send in your questions now. And like, she'll try to answer it. No joke lang. So that's it. It's all the questions we have and all the time we have. I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation, even if it's wala lang. I don't know if you guys learned anything from me. I mean, from
Hey,
her,
grabe
she inspired
naman.
young people. Pero for me, I just kept laughing because wala lang, we're friends. And I know the stuff she'd answer is just funny. And basta, I didn't expose her also too much. So it was kind of hard because I exposed her a lot, if you ask.
Yeah.
So thank you again for coming in the show, even if you force yourself. I still thank you, and I appreciate it. Episode 8,
Guys, I'm just so happy to be in this show kasi grabe, the DVD show, grabe yan.
Grabe,
Iba talaga.
grabe walang nanonood or grabe wala?
No, I'm just honored to be here. Wow!
No order, no one. Guys, she's like 10 times popular than me, so I don't know what she's saying, but but yeah, thank you again. And she said kasi when I started this, when she made a Facebook page, she messaged me. She's like, "Oh, are you making your own sports podcast?" I was like, "Yeah, why?" Then she was like, "Oh, baka kasi when you're famous na, you won't guest me eh." So yeah, I guested her na. I'm not even famous, FYI. So she's the famous one. Follow her. I don't know her IG. Basta, what's your IG? Basta follow her and her BFFs. and that's why she said she's interesting. Yan, alam niya na.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
thank you again. And since you said you wanna come back, basta abangan niyo na lang if she'll come back. And bye. Thank you everyone for watching.
Bye, everyone.